been down this road before, talking about we're going to do an economic boycott, and then maybe some people might do it for a day, a few days, and then it kind of dies off. And so we want to keep that moving. On top of that, we want to make it an effective boycott. It's not practical to boycott when we have food to buy, we have clothes to buy, we have everyday essentials that we need to buy. So we have Black businesses that can meet those needs as alternatives. So we want to redirect our Black dollar into the Black community, and thereby empowering ourselves individually and economically. So as an initiative by Black Central Florida wants to promote the accessibility and visibility of Black businesses in all of the Central Florida region, not just here in Orlando. We are a community altogether. We have a few events that we're planning right now. We have a workshop, a Know Your Rights workshop that we're incorporating Black-owned vendors into. Just to show of hands, how many of us know our rights? If we were to be pulled over by a police officer today, either driving or walking, how many of us know how to handle ourselves in that situation, actually know our rights? You know what questions to ask. So that's not too many. The majority of us do not know our rights if we were to be pulled over. And so the first workshop that we are working on, we already met up with a lawyer yesterday. We're working with Tamika Hampton, and we're developing a program whereby we can educate the community on what to do in a circumstance where you are pulled over by a police officer or you are stopped by a police officer, so as to not escalate a situation unnecessarily. And we've had these workshops before. I was a part of Malcolm X Grassroots Movement in the past. We've had similar workshops before, but the issue is that the information will go in one ear and out the other. So what we want to do is make this a hands-on workshop where you'll have the opportunity to actually interact with an officer, or however we're going to do it. We'll actually have stations where you sit and you role play what you would do in that situation so that it becomes a part of your physical memory. So that if you are in a situation where you're pulled over or you're walking and the police stops you for whatever reason, you know what to do because you've already done it before. So we're looking for people to work on the committee with us and planning. We want to do this somewhere August 14th is the tentative date. We're just securing the venue right now. So we're looking for people to volunteer on the committee. We're already in works with 2 lawyers right now in developing the program. There's just only a few of us, so the more hands, the better, so we can actually get this rolling. Also, if you are a Black business and you would like to vend at the workshop, please let me know. I'll be sitting right here, and I look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you. We definitely need to all help out with that.
One more thing, Life by Black Central Florida Initiative on Facebook.
Thank you. Okay, so now Comptroller Nolita Grant.
Hi, I'm Lolita. Number 1, fear is speaking in public. Number 2, that people rather die than public speak. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, a Klan leader had a meeting with a Black leader in some area. I don't have all the names or the dates, but the Klan leader said, one day we're not going to be wearing these robes. We're going to be wearing judges' robes. We're going to be wearing police uniforms. We're going to be wearing doctors' jackets. So the thing is, it's definitely good to vote, but we also need to be grooming. We need to be grooming our young for certain positions of influence. Also, like my point, as far as like the problems concerning the Black condition, has a lot to do with things that are psychological, because your mind is fertile ground. Whatever you plant will grow. So, number 1 that we can start doing immediately is, I call these people the enemies of the race, people who promote violence in their music, violence and sexuality in their music. And then we allow our young kids to listen to this stuff and play violent video games when, like a couple of years ago, you just told this little boy not to touch the stove because it's hot. So why would you think that their minds are able to understand what's going on? So they become desensitized by what they see. So delay gratification. I know we like this music because it sounds good and we be bumping to it, but if we continue to buy it, then we'll continue to sell it, and it's hurting us because it becomes a part of us. They put the alphabet to music for a reason. Number two, on the social media, we need to hold people accountable, because a lot of us post things like, oh, if that B ain't bringing this to the table, then bye. You know, oh, he ain't nothing because of blah, blah, blah. And it's really promoting separation. So when you see somebody posting that, pop wisdom is what I call it, because we believe it's wisdom when it really isn't. We need to hold them accountable. We need to talk to them. We can't be afraid. And I'm like very introverted, like this is not me. I'm rarely on social media. But since what had happened, you know, I feel like it was a lot of people saying, oh, I'm so hurt. So when you see people posting that, what I did, I went to everybody who posted something about something emotional, because this isn't a battle of emotion, it's a battle of the mind. So I asked them, okay, so what's next? What's the next step we can do to actually promote real change? So, because that'll get people out of their emotions and start to get them to think. Because emotion without action is overrated and ineffective. So let's stop our children from listening to this violent stuff, sexual stuff, playing violent video games, and pacifying them with both of those things. Let's hold people on social media accountable for what they put on there, because it's separating us instead of uniting.
Feel free after anybody speaks or any committees to meet up with them afterwards. We'll have some time where y'all can all connect, exchange numbers, we can all get together. Now the next speaker, Anthony Bryant. Anthony Bryant.
I want to first of all say I'm so humble and I feel so inspired to speak to my people. Like I dream about this. I take the trash and work it out. I write down different ideas and stuff. Just to be people, my own people, to come together and to do this. Just this morning, I call that my favorite Uncle Tad this morning. So I mean, just to have this, something positive to come to instead of being at home and just dwelling, and then to feel the love and to feel the need that we all want the same thing. We all touched on a very good point, but I feel like we have to start with teaching these kids that they matter. And nothing else, like I love Black Lives Matter just for the fact that we should be saying every day, Black Lives Matter. You know, like that. Now, what a number of Christians and bodies just come encourage you in black neighborhoods, so happy when you don't work this morning, how you doing it, and I do this way. So we have to start with just being kind to each other, teach these kids to love each other, and to just be appreciative. As far as with the black jobs, I think that's a great move, but we should hold these jobs accountable too. If we promote them, bring them in the community to keep these kids trained, to keep them by doing makeup and doing hair and about building farms and farming and about just get them trained to have something to look forward to, because a lot of us have nothing to look forward to. They tell us work hard, they tell us finish school, be nice, be polite, but they don't tell us those desires to want more. Like the people I read about slaves who ran from through the woods, they had nothing on their feet, found land, and they started business. They started AC and they started car and medicine. I mean, you can just give these kids something to look forward to, hands on, and teach them small stuff. I feel like that'll take us in the right direction. Instead of just tell them to find a job, teach them all types of jobs, teach them about doing music and about playing mentoring and just being kind to each other. So that's what I have to say on that.
Thank you. All right, the next person was Jarrell DePina.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Terrell.
My name is Shanta.
My name is Jennifer.
My name is Fennell, and I'm Javon. We're a group of young black individuals, and we want to basically bring change to the community. There's so many different ways. We're hearing so many different topics we touch, but what really starts with this talk starts with the younger community. Not only the younger community, but basically people of influence speaking to the people of the young community. Because you're most impressionable by people only a few years older than you. It's hard to really look out into the future and see how to live your life, because young people don't think that far into the future. If you look 3 years, 5 years from now, even an 18-year-old talking to a 23-year-old or a 25-year-old, there's a dramatic change from a 13-year-old to an 18-year-old. there's dramatic changes. But the main thing I want to speak about is pretty much love in the community. Because there's so many different things trying to censor basically your kids and things of that sort. Once they go into their communities, once they go into their schools, once they're with their friends, well, everything gets shut off. What they do realize is they realize love. They realize their parents and their family bringing them up. Too many times we're heard, basically if we're doing finances or if you're working on budgets or things like that, you shun your kids and you put them to the side. However, I work in finances and the Caucasians don't do that. They're always with one another and they're working deals with them. Now, they know how to make decisions. They know how to go out in the real world. They know how to pay utilities. They know how to pay bills. They know how to get their credit together. Unfortunately, on our side, we don't do that. We make our kids go to the side. We say this is grown folk business. So I'm just here with starting with basically not only finances in the community, but that's one thing that we're about to put together is basically a back to school event in terms of August 13th. I'm gonna let everybody else touch on a few things because I'll end up talking too much. So.
My name is Deshonta Davis. I organized the march last Sunday downtown Orlando. Y'all couldn't come to the one in Orlando. There's going to be one in San Fran and Pasa. A lot of people have touched on a lot of things, but the thing that I want to say is we need to start knowing where we come from because a lot of us do not know. And I think my generation, we're starting to get there, but it's that younger generation. It's my sister's generation. My younger sister's generation too. They don't know anything about themselves. Send your kids to black schools so they can know. It's so much stuff and there's so much resources that we have available to us, and we do not use them. We don't use them at all. There's YouTube, there's books, there's everything. Literally at the palm of our hands, but we got so many distractions to where we don't know. It's if your kid and my sisters have this literally planted in their head, if I tell them right now, you're black as what, if they can't say beautiful, then I don't know what it is that we got going on. We have to be that change, and I feel like we all can do it, and it starts right here. We have to be a consistent flow because this right here is going to start a chain reaction. If other people see us doing it, then other people fall in line. So that's something I want to say.
My name is Jennifer. I do a lot of events. I put together stuff. One of the things that makes me mad is because I'm here because my parents didn't tell me my rights. My parents didn't tell me what I should do when a cop stops me. They didn't teach it. Like, if you're older, if you have a kid, and you didn't tell them something about their rights or what to do, how to vote, how to sign up, how to do this, it's your fault. You have to blame yourself. Because we're in this situation because you guys didn't inform the people growing up. Because, they don't really care about us. They care about the generations to come, and they don't want that generation to grow. They want the generation that's growing up right now to go through the same thing that we're going through right now. So we have to educate them. We have to stand up for our brothers and sisters. I don't know what kind of people it is in your house. I don't know. My family, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I'm by myself. I don't know if they voted. I don't know if she voted. Make sure everybody's voting. Like, it is so important to know your rights, to know what's going on in this community and to help each other. And school is where to start. Literally, like giving them supplies and being in their kids' lives while they're in school, teaching them the correct way of going about certain things is really the right way. Because if my parents was in my life when I was in school, I would have been further than I am now. Just not. I'm 21 and I have a lot of crap going on, but still, if I was to have the help of my parents, the support of my parents, I promise to God, I'll probably be the next president. Like, no lie, because I feel like I can do it. But because I don't know my rights, because I don't know what I'm capable of doing, because my parents didn't tell me that, Jennifer, you're able to be the president of America, then I'm not doing it. Yeah. It starts with you guys. It starts with us. We have to teach the younger generation that they are able to do things that they feel like they can't do because the society is going to tell us, hey, because you're dark skinned, because your hair's nappy, or because you don't have hair, you can't do this. No, we have to stop this. And not only that, we tell our kids that. We tell John, get away, you can't do this. Yeah. We do this every day. Yeah. So you guys have to stop. If y'all want to see a change, y'all gotta stop doing the stuff that y'all do.
All right, so we'll keep it real. My name is Pernell, And I appreciate you, sisters, for just keeping it real with everybody. And look, when she says this, like when you have a lot of crap going on, like look, you're 21 with a degree, like salute. Like come on, like you're an inspiration. You gotta tell, like let your story be heard, and that's what's gonna inspire the masses. So my hat's off to you. I'm bald, but you know. So,
It's okay.
with this, I can really appreciate this environment because this is the internal cohesiveness that we need within the community. And when you really break that down, that's another story. He told me to keep it short because he know I can elaborate. So let me just say, as far as what we're developing, it's perfect how everybody's coming together at the perfect time. Next month, we're actually hosting an event where it's called the Youth Summer Jam, where essentially we're having workshops for the kids. We're gonna inspire them through education. A workshop called Knowing Your Rights, and then we run into somebody with a precise list of knowing your rights. It's perfect. So with that, we're all coming together to build the knowledge base and the foundation of the community. And from there, that's how we build, that's how we learn, that's how we grow. And that's all I have to say. I try to keep it concise. I got you, bro. Stop putting me on the spot.
I'm not gonna read this right now. I'm gonna let her read it. I just met her today. She's from Haiti. She didn't even tell y'all that. This is how the Lord works, you know what I'm saying? She's from Haiti. She graduated her bachelor's at 21. She said she was in 9th grade at 12. She don't have a father. I just met her like 3 hours ago. But I know how the Lord works. So I'm not gonna be up here too long. I know they want to finish what they're doing, but the time is now. I have my own nonprofit organization. This is my first year. The time is now. Orlando is on the growth. Soccer stadium. There's a lot of money coming in the city. Let's keep this black money with black people. The time is now. Let's pray on it. Let's manifest it. And leave God the Lord's hands.
Everybody's sharing their story, but we haven't really touched on basically our event. Not only are we basically, it's going to be a youth seminar, but the thing about the program itself is it has to start with the kids. You got to start, somebody started saying, you have to put the seeds in their minds now and let it grow. Somebody has to permanent. You got to keep it growing. You got to keep it growing. So after this, basically, I want to collect emails. If you don't respond to your emails, give me a phone number. We'll text you. We'll email blast you. We'll text blast you. Whatever it is. We need to get in contact with you. We need to see your kids. You want your kids to be with basically other young people that are doing basically what you want them to grow up to be. Because then that's what will continue to make the community grow, because they're going to go into their class. They're going to tell their friends about it. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to be basically inspiration for their friends and motivate them. Because it starts in the environment. We can only do so much basically at home. But once they go into the environment, that's where things change. It's a complete switch up. So please, 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 emails, phone numbers, whatever it is, just stay in contact.
5 of us, don't matter.
It don't matter, just give it to somebody. We reach out to you.
Youth Summer Jam the 13th. And
August 13th.
wait, let's elaborate a little bit further. I'm sorry. But look, backpacks, school supplies, this is going to be an event for the kids.
1209 Formosa Avenue.
Studio 18, for all the artists out there.
Just write it
So we're building.
down. If you're an artist and you do music, art, whatever you do, we'll be giving out free sessions. We'll be giving out health expos and food and drinks and games and basketball and bounce
Haircuts for the kids.
Haircuts for the kids, everything. I'm trying to get clothing and stuff. I'll let you guys know. But I have to have emails to let you guys know. See how it works?
Hey, you
That's good.
give the emails to me?
Yeah. Any information y'all have, give it to me, and I'm gonna blast it out to everybody.
All right, perfect.
We're gonna keep it all
Thank you
central.
so much.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got you.
But yeah, any information y'all got, y'all want me to be a part of, give it to me. Like, come see me, send me the details, because I got a lot of emails up here. We're gonna blast it out to everybody. We're gonna keep it going. Just to touch bases on what we talked on being missing. We did have sign up for committees. We're trying to do a community outreach and patrol, but also within the community outreach, we're trying to get out resources and information to people in the neighborhoods. We're gonna go to all the different neighborhoods we can go to, but we do need an official meeting with the city in Orange County, so that's coming up. So if you want to sign up later on, the sheet's still up here. The next speaker we had that wanted to go on the open floor was Ron Howard.
I'll make this real quick. Two things that I'm going to offer myself my services on for this forum. one to start a local think tank. And what that think tank will do is those people that join that committee, whenever the group has issues that they want to table, then it's great to sit and talk about these things, and we talk about them, and a lot of times we talk and we go home, well, you have to wonder what happens from there, because even if you have 300 people in this room and you talk about those things, then it really gets lost like after that. Some of us will act on it, some of us will think about it, but because we really need action, then once there's a think tank, those items can be brainstormed in that think tank. When you have the other meetings, or being that he's got the website, then we can actually bring those ideas back to say, okay, here are some of the suggestions, some of the options, some of the action items that we've come up with. And then, of course, if you're having the meetings, then the group can decide, okay, which one of those do we want to act on? And being that he's got so many people signed up, then it's easy for you to say, okay, I'll be a part of that. You know, if you're going to help somebody that's doing an event like the young people that just got up and talked about, they say, hey, we need 50 people. Then those kind of things that we bring forward, they can be acted on. The second thing, I've done this kind of thing before. I'm one of the elder people in the room here. So there's a lot of this that I've seen time and time again. And one of the things that would make a real difference is having a database so that, well, let's not say a database, I don't want to go that far right now. But what I'll do is I'll start a group, and anybody can join that group. So as the word goes out, when you're talking to people, just like the young people talked about with those issues, all you have to do is tell them, look, sign up for this group, because then that information will be there. So that way, when anybody comes up with, you know, an event that they're doing, then we can plug that into that group. So then all you gotta do when you say, hey, I wanna know what's going on, then you just go to the group and those things will be there. So that way we can get things all over the region that are happening. So anything that someone knows about, you can plug it in, and that way it's there. I'm gonna tell you honestly, now, TJ, sitting over here, TJ Legacy, who, don't get mad at me, but I'm gonna plug you a little bit. Those of you who don't know about him, he's the one that, he and one of the other associates set up a large truck to go up to Flint, Michigan. And they had a run for that, and proceeds came in. They took a large truck of water and other supplies up to help the people in Flint. TJ also is one of the people that sometimes will have the debates for candidates in the local area so that we can go out and see what they're doing. But the reason I brought TJ up is because on one of the pages that we're on, they were talking about the last march that these young people set up. I had no clue. How many people here knew beforehand about that march? Now you see how many people didn't? So once we have a place that we can all go to, then those things can be there, and we can say, hey, let me go see what's going on. So those two things, so if you don't mind on the website, then I can just put a posting for it.
Groups too that will have different things on. There's two groups, Black Omega United, and there's a Let Your Voice Be Heard.
Okay.
Those are public groups that you can post whatever you have going on, and whatever website y'all have, whatever group y'all have. 'Cause I know you do a lot. He does do a lot. So I do want to get him plugged in with everybody here so we can all be on the same page. One thing that don't discourage yourself from not going to everybody's event if you can make it. Just because you go to one person's thing don't mean you can't volunteer and help out with the next person's. It's gonna be multiple back to school events coming up, a couple people doing things, you know, more stuff for your family if you can make the most of them, you know? Yeah, definitely.
So I'll put both of those up, so that way you can sign up at your leisure. You don't have to worry about trying to catch me and all that. They'll be on the first website. You can sign up for the think tank, and then also I'll post the group for the information.
We do got like a half an hour. in the next half an hour, we got still a couple more people want to get up here. So one thing, at the end of this, sign up your name and email, because this won't be the first, this won't be the only meeting. This will be a monthly thing, so the next meeting will be next August. So we want you to sign up for it. Stay active with the Facebook page, because if you don't get heard today, hopefully we can get more time next time. It was kind of booked over here, so we'll try to get a bigger place next time also. So I've announced that online, and we'll get that out there. One of the next speakers is Sherelle Rosie.
Hello everyone, I'm gonna be real quick. First of all, it's beautiful seeing all these kings and queens in the room right now. It's very beautiful to see all you here. Something that I do, I'm a public health professional. I mentioned it in the beginning. My name is Sherelle Rosie, and I'm a CPR and schools manager for the American Heart Association. But something that I did get a lot of education on, I did get my master's in public health from New York University in New York City. Something that a lot of us don't really pay attention to in the Black community is that our community is the community that has the highest death rate from sudden cardiac arrest. One reason, because people don't know how to perform CPR. There is hands-only CPR, so it's 2 basic steps. 1 step, call 911. 2nd step, push hard and fast in the center of the chest. And I want to do more community events, trainings in this community that I live in now, to train more people to learn hands-only CPR and be comfortable performing hands-only CPR in case of an emergency. Something else that a lot of us don't really pay attention to is our social, behavioral, and our socioeconomic demographics. In terms of our behaviors, we don't eat healthy. A lot of people in the Black community will have some fried chicken, some fish, some candy yams, some collard greens, and let me tell you, it's good. I love it too. But we have to pay attention to the quantity. We can't have these type of meals every single day or for every single meal, whatever the case may be. We have to watch what we consume. I understand that the way this government is constructed, that a Whole Foods is double the amount of money you're gonna pay at maybe a Winn-Dixie or a neighborhood store. And it's expensive to buy the healthier food. A bottle of water is more expensive than a 2-liter soda. And this is a small bottle of water. And this is something that we have to speak up with our government. We don't talk enough, we don't let our voices be heard enough, that this is ridiculous, because they're targeting the Black communities, the lower income communities that can't afford some of the stuff at Whole Foods or a bottled water or something more healthier, a healthier choice. And so we have to educate ourselves, and that's something that I've always seen as very important, and I wanted to educate myself, but I want to educate people around me. And if anyone has questions about stuff like this, please feel free to ask me. Another thing is active living. If you can't afford a gym membership, that doesn't mean you can't be physically active. We can be physically active. When I used to live in New York City, I used to say this all the time, is I would take the subway train, I would get off a few blocks earlier and then walk a little extra home or work, wherever I had to go. We can do that here. You don't have to take the elevator or the escalator everywhere. Go up some stairs. If you're at work during your lunch break or whatever break it is, take a minute to walk around, stretch a little, do what you need to do to add some type of physical activity into your life. Active living is adding physical activity into your daily lifestyle. We have to educate ourselves. We have to make sure that, yes, our lives matter, our communities matter, but we have to believe that our lives matter if anything's gonna matter. We have to again, educate ourselves on the importance of eating well, being more physically active, what you can do that you don't have to pay as much money in order to do so. And again, I'm here. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to come up to me. As well as I spoke to one individual who was interested in doing a CPR training at her church. I would love to coordinate with you guys to do some type of hands-only CPR training that is free. It's not a certification training, but know that there's a Good Samaritan law. So some people are like, I'm scared to perform CPR on somebody because they might sue me. The Good Samaritan law in this government, in the country that we live in, it protects you if you're performing CPR on somebody who needs that CPR because they are suffering from a sudden cardiac arrest. You are protected by the Good Samaritan Act. That is something that a lot of people don't know, and they won't do anything. But one other statistic, 70% of sudden cardiac arrests occur at your home. That means with a loved one, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a cousin. It could be whoever it is in your home. We have to learn hands-on CPR, or any type of CPR. You need to educate yourself on it, because the reason why 90% of the people don't survive is because most of them don't get the CPR that they need. The most important part of CPR is the compressions. because you're beating for the heart. And if we realize that and we educate ourselves and we learn CPR, we can do that in our own homes. And we can help our family members and our loved ones. And so I just wanted to leave that with all of you. Again, please be educated. I'm all about education. If you have any questions for me, if it has to do with CPR, active living, eating healthy, going to school, going to college, getting your master's, whatever the case may be, I want to help this community. Again, I'm not from here, I'm from Connecticut, but I live here now. And this is where I reside and pay my taxes. So please feel free to come to me and ask me whatever it is.
Any information y'all got, just give it to me. We'll send it out to everybody. The next person, I'm gonna try to get to everybody. I don't know if we're honestly gonna get to everybody today. If we don't, I do apologize, but if you have information that doesn't get heard today, send it to me. We got a lot of emails here. We'll try to get it out for y'all. So the next person to speak is Carol People.
Hi everybody, my name is Carol People. I am excited about what's going on here. Gentleman stood up early and said he thinks he's the oldest person in the room. I might have you look at it. At least I'm running the same track. I just want to state, Miles, and all of you who are doing what you're doing, this is your time. This is your generation. This is your battle. This is your war. It's your time. It's your time.
Yes.
Do something with it. We talk about the marches, we talk about Martin Luther King, we talk about the movement. It's a time for a new movement. And the movement that worked then may not work now, so know your movement. Know what you have. You have at your disposal modern technology. Oh my God. I wish we had modern technology. Miles has 300 people. I think he did that in 2 weeks. Because I didn't know we had 300 black in organizations here. But I'm excited about what's going on. I'm excited about the opportunity to speak with you on a short, brief message here. I have a women's ministry, a women's fellowship that I deal with, and we got a couple of things coming up. But I'm excited about what you're doing and what you're talking about. Our young people investing in the next generation. Part of the reason we cannot invest in the next generation is we didn't invest in ourselves. We stand in a place where we don't know who we are as women, and I'm going to just say this, I minister to women, so I'm talking to the women in the house. You men can listen because I ain't saying nothing you don't need to know. But I'm talking to the women in the house. When you know who you are, when you know, not your mother tell you, not your husband tell you, but when you can define who you are and walk in that definition of who you are, you can change the world. There's a saying that says the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Now what they're saying, and I'm not trying to down anything, but what they're saying is the person that educates the next generation or the person that mentors and nourishes the next generation is setting the standard for the next thing to come. My ministry is about setting the standard so that you can set the next standard for the next generation. I'm here to help you develop your inner strength for the next, for that expected quality of life. We all expect a certain thing in life. There's an expectation. One of the reasons the movements moved so well back then, there was an expectation for something that wasn't. There was an expectation for something that wasn't. What's the thing you're looking for right now? Because that's what's going to move this movement. The expectation of what isn't and what you're bringing into action. But I just want to say thank you for having this. I want to say thank you for the foundation that you're starting. Everything takes a start. And once you take, if you want to move a beach, 1 grain at a time. Take the sand 1 grain at a time. We can move an entire nation, 1 movement at a time, 1 thing at a time. But we got to be solid in it and know what we're going and what we're trying to do. I'm having a fellowship 23rd, next Saturday. It's a networking event for the community and the businesses to come together. It's going to be at the Winter Park Community Center. If you have a business, ladies, it's called sundresses and high heels. I don't know about y'all, but I like my high heels. When you're 4'11", you love high heels. What can I say? It gives you height. But the whole idea is bringing the community and the businesses together. I'm so excited you started this because this just flows right in to what we're doing. We're trying to get people to understand that you have something of value to give to the next person. Each one of us has something. Why did Wall Street go? Because people took the skill that they had and they promoted it with people who needed it. So we all have something that's needed to the next generation, to our neighbors, to our friends. So I'm just inviting you to come out if you have a business, and if you don't have a business, you're looking for something. If you're looking for something, I may have something that you're looking for, but you won't know if you're not there. Go to our website, not our website, go to our Facebook page, Teton Fellowship, and look us up. We have been doing this for 8 years. We are a ministry for women. We empower women to be strengthened for that quality of life that you expect. We expect something from our lives. We expect to give something out of our lives. But until we dig down on the inside and pull that thing up, we can't help the next person. I'm gonna end with this. I was a young girl and I saw a photograph that somebody did. And the photograph was a bunch of people running to a wall, a bunch of black people running to a wall. There were people coming out of slavery, out of industry, out of everything. There were people on the wall going over. But everybody who was on the wall was reaching down to bring somebody else up. And as they were going over the wall, they brought the person with them. Nobody is an island. Nobody has started this. This race that you're in now didn't start with you. It didn't start with us. It didn't start with Black Lives Matter. The Constitution was not written with Black lives in mind. It just wasn't. So yes, we matter, and we have to make that statement because it was not implied when the Constitution was made. But we can be better than we are by joining together, not allowing the differences of what we have to keep us from doing what we know we need to do. I thank you for the opportunity to just speak here. I'm excited about what's going on. I can't wait to see the effect of what this group of young people at this time in these United States is going to do. I'm excited. I can't wait.
We have about 20 minutes left, so like I keep saying, if you have anything that wants to be said or isn't said, just contact us afterwards. We'll link up and we'll send it out to everybody. The next person to speak is going to be Antoinette Janet.
I'm gonna make this brief, y'all, because I already said some stuff earlier. My name is Antoinette Jones, or I go by AJ. And if you don't mind, I would like to bring a couple friends up because they may not get opportunity to speak. So y'all can come on up, that'd be great. But really quickly, I work for a nonprofit. We're called Help CDC. We are hosting a free homebuyer workshop here in Pine Hills at the community center on July 30th. To the young brother that spoke earlier about financial foundation building, that is very true. This is not just, I'm saying this because I don't just want you to come out because you think you're going to buy a home or have to buy a home. But you do need to, I want you to come out or spread the word about it because we do start needing to, we need to start understanding, that we do have to make sure that the next generation is economically stable. And that is important. Our other brothers and sisters of a lighter skin tone do teach their children economic stability. My father taught me, started me on my financial stability. So we need to do the same in our culture, in our community. So please, please, please let people know. You can contact me. I'll send the information to your website. But please come and correct your credit because yeah, that's broken in our community. But that's it.
He's one of our speakers next week.
How's everybody doing? My name is TJ Legacy Cole. I'm a community organizer here in Central Florida, Orlando, Orange County area. Everybody talks about this is a beautiful thing that we have here today. This is power. And power concedes nothing without a demand. We all know that. So now we have to decide what are our actual demands, because let it be known, and I'm not going to be here to sing all sunshine and rainbows today, everybody here is a target. Right now you're being watched. You think Buddy died? You think all these people want this right now? You know how many people have been trying to have this movement actually happen and been cultivating this for years? They don't want this, right? The only way this is going to work is if we stick together. Yes. Period. The only way this is going to work is that we hold people accountable, our elected officials accountable. No longer will we just accept book bag giveaways and call that service to the community. No longer will we accept you to just give us a fist fry and say that you care about us. No longer are we going to just allow you to come and speak at our church on Sunday, but yet still you out here, your behavior is not that of God. So what we need to do is hold people accountable, and that starts with our elected officials, it starts with our pastors, but it also starts with us. Unity starts with us. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna see nice young brothers and powerful sisters in the back who helped the march and organize it. And they're gonna offer you things. They're gonna divide you. They're gonna sit there and try to divide the movement in order for you guys to dissolve everything. They're gonna threaten you to lock you up. They didn't want that march to happen on Sunday. What they wanted to do was have you guys sitting there like sitting ducks and say they already deemed it an unlawful gathering when 100 people were there. They were just there waiting on it. It took organizers and activists that were there that saw what was going on, saw the energy, and said, you know what? That ain't happening. Never have you seen a Black Lives Matter march that had an actual police motorcade, a covering or protection. That's because we got y'all. But here's what's gonna happen. I'm here to give you warning and extend my hand as a brother, as a fellow organizer, activist. We got you. My job is not to commandeer your vision, your events, or say, hey, we got it, we're gonna do it, and y'all just fall in line. No. I want you to come to the table, but with knowing that with great power comes great responsibility. The responsibility is knowing what you have. These people are counting on you now. Everything you post, everything you share, people are looking at you because they're looking up to you. You're a leader. You're a leader. So what that means, different levels, new devils. Different levels, new devils. But the thing is, you don't even know what they look like yet. Our young ones, our young actors, y'all just, hey, we just gonna have this meeting, we gonna talk about some empowerment, we gonna think, and you have no idea who your enemy really is because you can't even see them. So that's why we need the older generation, you need the ones who are up and coming, and we need the new ones, and that's when we do it together. And let me be clear. Not everybody that's kin to me is kin to me. And not everybody that doesn't look like you is an enemy as well. So it's going to take us to come to the table together. Now there's things, we have precincts, you're trying to get people registered to vote. I suggest there's a nice movie called Hidden Colors 4. I know you guys know about that. One of the solutions that we tried to do is we tried to have a nice movie night. I read about the DVD, we just need a movie night. And then we get voter registration there. And then we get everybody to voter registration, and we do that. So that's something we could all work on together. Another thing, the Citizen Review Board. For those who don't know what the Citizen Review Board, and please correct me if I don't know everything that I'm talking about at that moment as far as the intricacies of the Citizen Review Board. But they review the cases of police brutality, right? There's a vacant spot right now. All you have to do is go on the Citizen Review Board website, which is for the city, and you apply. In order for you to be a person to be confirmed, you have to be voted in by the city commissioners. So your power, we may not have all the money, the resources and all that stuff, but there's power and strength in numbers. If the people decide within the committee who we want that vacancy to be, you vet somebody who's actually qualified, and then you sit there and all those people that march, you call your city commissioner, you call your county commissioner, you call the people that have influence and authority to make those decisions, and you say, this is who we select. Because we need to hold the police officers accountable. And the only way they're gonna do that is if they see, you know what? If I don't do what the people actually say, they're gonna get me out of there. A lot of these people wake up every morning because they can't just be regular TJ or Legacy Cole. They gotta be Commissioner so-and-so. We're not voting for you just so you can show up with your shiny suit and go to a gala. It ain't about that no more. Because people are dying. Have y'all seen Paramount? Have y'all seen the areas? They're being gentrified. They're trying to call it downtown north, downtown south. They don't want you here. So, the dominant society is organized. The Hispanics are organized. Right? Everybody's getting their piece. But our communities are being gentrified. So here we come knocking on the door. And what we're doing is we asking politely, we need a seat at our table. We need equal representation when it comes to some of these things. And we're gonna organize, and we're gonna be civil, because we're asking. However, there's an alternative. I'm not trying to take you home, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We asking now. But we also can have the alternative where we don't ask no more. And that comes with what my brothers were saying here about knocking on the doors, going into the communities. Started with enforcing your legislators to fund education. That's where it starts. Asking county commissioners and the city, hey, we want 50 new black businesses. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, my brother. But with the new generation, we do have GPS. We do have some Pandora. We do have things that we can put and equip in the car to help us get to where we're going a lot more smoothly. And so I thank you all for the time. I extend my hand to you, to any other young activists that's out here. There's plenty of work to be done. Let's do it together.
We got about 10 minutes left.
I'm not gonna be
Sorry about
long-winded. My own thing is this. For one, what I'm just seeing in the room right now, as I watch this young brother talk, I watch somebody literally try to discredit this brother. And we have to get rid of that mentality, you all. We are not each other's enemies. As far as what I want to say, right now, if you go on Orange County Public Schools, you yourself, one-on-one, can volunteer. They have business and partnerships, and then I forgot the specific name, but I'll give you the website because I'm on there too. They will do your background check for you, and what you can do is you can pick 3 schools. So all those organizations that want to give the book bag giveaways, don't just stop there. Once a week or once a month, if you set up something with that school would allow you to come in. Not only would allow you to come in, if you do the business and partnerships, Orange County Public Schools will then acknowledge you and give you awards. You'll be able to start getting money. It's not about starting our own stuff, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 20 marches. I'm seeing 50 book bag giveaways. It's time to consolidate. The wheel has already been invented. We just gotta infiltrate it. Why do I need to start my own Black Caucus group when I can just go to the DEC and join? Become a Democrat and join. You mad at what the Democrats doing? If you're gonna tell me change starts from within as an individual, then it's also going to start from within as a group. So if you don't like what the Democrats doing, matter of fact, the DEC has a meeting on Monday, this coming Monday on June. I'm going to get y'all the address so you can post. Show up at that meeting at 7 o'clock. Let those Democrats, because they don't know we exist. The black issue, is no longer a problem because we don't say it. So what I'm just trying to tell you all, if you want to do something with those kids, you don't have to go and start an organization. You can do it yourself. You can go and find a kid in your neighborhood and mentor to. You can go and find a kid that you know that's on the streets and say, you know what, once a week I'm going to give him some encouraging words. When you riding past those bus stops, just stop and say, if nobody love y'all, I love y'all. Or if you want to do something, pass out, print. Y'all sit there and be on Facebook all the time and print out something about African history and just give it to those kids. Hey, they may not teach you this in school, but I just want you to know this is the powerful people you come from. See, y'all want to go and y'all want to fight all the battles. I'm just trying to fight one war. And what I see the war is, we don't have self-knowledge, which is why they stopped us from reading, which is why they stopped us from knowing who we are, which is why they changed our names, which is why they made us worship. Let's not even go there. You have to, if you know yourself, you know where you're going. If you know your self-worth, you won't settle for nothing. If I know my self-worth, you ain't got to tell me to listen to rap, because I already know certain rap is bad. You don't have to tell me, if I know my self-worth, what not to do, because my self-worth won't even allow me to do it. So let's build self-worth. Let's go and educate us. What were we doing before slavery? What were we doing during slavery? Because it was more than just Nat Turner that revolted. So just go look up your history. And like I said, everybody in here, if you don't have, because Orange County, what a lot of people don't know, Orange County Public Schools is right now the number 9th district in the whole United States. That is the biggest school board district in America. We're like number 9. So you think you're gonna come and just talk to these kids? No. What you need to do is go register. That way you won't have nobody trying to finagle what you're doing, sister back there. You want to do all that stuff, you don't get registered. Who's gonna stop somebody to come in and try to finagle? Then they just shut you down. But if you register with the school board, you register with these right people, and if they try to shut you down, at least you're gonna have somebody to help back you all up. So what I'm saying is enough trying to, you know, start something. It's already here. Let's jump on this wheel. Let's make these folks bigger. If you're a Democrat, then you need to be involved in your Democratic Party. If you're a Republican, then you need to be involved in your Republican Party. If you're an independent, then you need to be involved in the Independent Party. If you're no partisan, then y'all no partisan people need to start something where we're no partisan and we still want to vote. However, no partisan, independent, if you're one of those, what you're going to fail to realize is you're going to lose in a lot of local and state elections because they are purposely for a specific party. So all Democrats can only, just like a lot of independents couldn't vote for Bernie. You know why? Because you wasn't a Democrat. You couldn't vote for him against Hillary because you wasn't a Democrat. So like I said, instead of reinventing all this little stuff, because when you have all this little stuff around, so like you said, somebody can go in each little person's ear. So we need to all come together and say, you know what, y'all? On Monday, there's a DEC meeting. All these people that's sitting right here need to be there Monday. There's also an Orange County Black Caucus. I ain't gonna get on that, but there's one. You need to go to that meeting. Tell that president this is what we want as a Black Caucus, and if he ain't giving you what you want, then y'all re-vote somebody in. But you cannot change anything from the outside. Keep screaming from the outside and watch you get dumped off. But if you come up in here, because wars ain't fought on the battlefield, wars are fought by spies. Know that.
Hey, we're gonna hand it off. If you are on Facebook, I'm gonna join all y'all groups. Orange County Black Voice, Facebook search, Orange County Black Voice. We talk consciousness, we talk local events, we talk everything, and we're gonna join y'all group, and thank y'all so much for the time.
Now it is only time for the goal, so before it is over, I'm gonna let somebody speak to it. Listen, if you can sign your name and email up for the next meeting, we're gonna have the next meeting for the community outreach. It did touch on meetings. This information, if you didn't get the paper handout, there's gonna be meetings. You have to sign up ahead of time with Orlando City Council. So they do want you to do that ahead of time. So if we wanna go out there, we gotta make sure our paperwork is right. So sign up here, and I will have detailed information on how we can get registered for it. And well, actually, hold on. I got time for hold on 1 second before y'all do leave. Just keep in mind that on the Facebook page.
No, be quiet. Somebody's speaking.
Alright, listen, on the Facebook page will be information about the next meeting. It will be next month, but it will be more actually on one topic. So if you do have topics that you want to discuss, come on. We are gonna have speakers come out for us. So we're gonna, one of the things we wanted to get was people to speak to us about what we could do legally when we get stopped, and what we could do about voting and different things of that nature. So just keep on the Facebook page for all the updates. If you have a committee you need to be blasted, come see me so I can send out your information and we can get it out to everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the president of Black Lives Matter FL. This Sunday, we're having a march. She mentioned it once in Sanford. If you might not notice on social media, I have been receiving death threats. Everyone in that group from the KKK has threatened us physically, sent us messages and everything. But it's not going to stop us because we're going to move just like the Lord had told us. We're not going to be slaveries no more. We're not going to let them do what they want to do to us. So Black Lives Matter is marching this Sunday. The following Sunday, we're marching in Apopka. And then the following Sunday after that, we're marching in Kissimmee. These marches are just the start. We're not going to let this stop us. This is just the start because we're already working on some plans to take effect after the marches. So but we need to work together. Like he said, they just want to give us book baggers and keep us going. We're not going to take that anymore. We got to stand up as a group to make sure things get done. So I ask you please to join different groups that's out there. I appreciate what they're doing. Black Lives Matter, if you guys have not heard of us, we've been around for a while, and I'm the youngest in the group, and I'm 28. So we need for you guys to please join some type of organization. Let's work together to make a difference everywhere. Because you can't teach a person in a car when you're driving down the road and the officer asks you for your ID, you cannot teach them that they're gonna be shot. How would you teach somebody that? There's laws out here that they break every